Good everyone, it's Steve from Sneaker Tech Talk, back with another video today. For today's video, we will be taking a look at the performance review of the Way of Wade Ice Blood 2. So without further ado, let's take a look at the shoes. Alright, so getting things started, this is D'Angelo Russell's shoe with Way of Wade, Dwyane Wade's brand from Li Ning. I know it's crazy, there's a lot of stuff going on there, but this is a new shoe from the brand. They did send them out to me. As always though, all my opinions are my opinions and my experiences, and I'm going to share that with you, the good, bad, and ugly. So without further ado, let's take a look at the traction pattern right here. As you can see right here, you have a multi-directional traction pattern here in the forefoot and the heel. It is decoupled right here. They are separated, and what you're getting is a solid rubber outsole right here. It is a very tacky rubber outsole on clean floors. Basically no squeak on these, like next to no sound at all. Overall though, on clean floors, these are superb. They just are silent but deadly. They do wrap up right here, similar to some of the older Kyrie models. So on clean floors, you will be good to go. On dirty floors, however, these did pick up quite a bit of dust. It really didn't affect the performance of the shoe, but I was wiping every so often just to maintain that great contact with the floor. So on the Ice Blood 2, this shoe right here has a very superb traction pattern, but it's very quiet. So if you like a very squeaky traction pattern, keep that in mind. But all things considered, a great option from the brand, and that's why they're going to score a very solid 8.5 out of 10. Another thing I did want to mention about this traction pattern is the rubber compound is like insanely firm. Like it barely moves when you touch it, and it's just a very firm rubber compound. So if you did want to bring these outdoors, I would say that is an option, because this rubber compound I think is very durable, really no wear and tear with 9 hours of use so far in this model. So that is one thing to note. Outdoors, this would be a very good option. As far as the cushioning goes on this model right here, it's a very balanced ride, and honestly, it was very enjoyable for me. So it says 75% boom, and you do get that from heel all the way to the forefoot, a full length portion of boom. You can see it exposed right here and right here on the medial side. And then directly under that boom full length midsole, you do have Cloud Plus foam from the brand. It is a very plush ride underfoot, and I just really enjoyed the setup on this model. It's very low profile in the forefoot, so very close to the floor. The heel to toe transition in this model is superb because you do have that exposed foam right here at the heel, and you do have some running throughout right here. Overall, the heel to toe transition is very nice on foot, and I do think positions 1 through 5 would enjoy this setup. Just keep in mind, it is very close to the floor and very minimal as well. So I do think that boom, that 75% boom foam, which is eTPU, very similar to Boost, is adequate for most play styles and sizes. Just overall, a very nice setup from Way of Wade. One that I would like to see on some of their other models, because I think it's just a very balanced and nice flow underfoot. So overall, I would have to give this cushioning setup a very nice 9 out of 10. I actually really enjoyed it underfoot. As far as the fit goes, now that's where the shoe was a bit problematic for me. I'm typically a size 10.5 in all of my basketball shoes. Serious player only, I do wear a size 11. Now I have worn a ton of Way of Wade models in the past, always being a size 10.5 US. Now with these, that's what the brand sent me, and this shoe is, like, I can't stress this enough, extremely narrow. Like, it was really suffocating on foot. If you've ever played in the mid-top Air Jordan 36s, I found that shoe to be narrow. This even more so. Like, it's suffocating like a straight jacket on foot, to the point where it felt like my foot was spilling over the side of the footbed. I do think a US size 11 would have been a better option, because again, even at the end of the shoe, my toe was damn near touching the end of this model right here. So I will say, if you like a supreme snug foot, go true to size. But if you're a wide footer, I would say go up half a size from the jump, or skip this model altogether, because it is just such a narrow fitting basketball shoe. Again, it's a very snug 1-to-1 fit. I did get some good play in this shoe, and I did enjoy my time, but the initial hour or two was like extremely painful to the point where I had to kick these off for a little bit and then toss them back on and lace them up a little bit less tight. So all things considered, it is a very snug shoe. I honestly think from the jump for even regular footers, go up half a size and spare yourself the pain. Again, my toe was seated right here at the end of the shoe, so all things considered, not the most enjoyable fit. It's a very snug fitting shoe. I did have some issues at the back as well, where this back kind of pushes into your Achilles, where I did have a little bit of pain, but that did break in after about 30 minutes and just caused me some discomfort, and that's why it's going to score a 6.5 out of 10. As far as the materials go, you are getting some synthetics at the back of the shoe right here that does run throughout with some fuse material, and then you are getting like some Lenoweave knit material with those TPU strands running throughout for some extra support and durability, and then some more fuse rands running throughout the toe right here as well. So all things considered, it's a very cheap setup, but it's super lightweight, and you can actually pretty much see your fingers through the shoe right here. So it's a very breathable option, a very minimal option. The tongue is a very thin mesh material, which offers a ton of breathability. So very much a minimal upper on this shoe right here. Again, this shoe retails for 120 USD, so it's a very cheap setup, and that reflects in the materials, but the overall performance, strength, and breathability definitely offers a nice touch as far as the performance aspects go. So all things considered, a very cheap upper on the Ice Blood 2 from Way of Wade, but I did enjoy the overall performance, and that's why they're going to score a decent 8 out of 10. So as far as the weight goes on this model right here, again, a US size 10.5 comes in at 12.12, it's kind of fluctuating here, 11.95 ounces. So all things considered, this is one of, if not the lightest basketball shoe that I have tested this year. So much to the point where they did kind of go away from the traditional insole in this shoe, and the insole is actually stitched directly to the Boom material. So very much a minimal basketball shoe as far as the overall lightweight nature. As far as the support goes from this model right here, you do have an internal heel counter and this extra plastic portion right here that is kind of seated on top of the midsole that does wrap up the back of the shoe. So very secure at the back of the Ice Blood 2. Running down from that, you do have this kind of TPU stranded material, which offers crazy support and breathability on the upper. Moving your way down from that, you do have this portion that wraps up the pinky toe and some plastic right here. So on those hard lateral cuts, you will be good to go. You also have these two eyelets right here. The eyelets do run down into the footbed at the back, so it does cinch your foot down very nicely to prevent your foot from spilling over the side of the shoe. At the bottom of the shoe, you do have a double thick shank plate, which offers pretty decent torsional rigidity in this model. You also have a wide and stable base with this flange that does kind of jut out to prevent your foot from teetering over. So all things considered, especially for positions 1 through 3, this is a very supportive basketball shoe. If you're a overly large player at the 4 or 5, this might not be enough considering just the materials are so thin, but in my opinion, honestly, I think 1 through 5 could get away with this model. Overall, a very supportive basketball shoe. They more or less do have a traditional lacing system. It just kind of runs down into the side of the medial side of the shoe right here, and that's why they're going to score a 9.5 out of 10 as far as the support goes. So that's going to do it for a D'Angelo Russell shoe with Way of Wade, the Ice Blood 2. Sound off in the comments what you guys think of the shoe, if you've tried them out this far, and what you guys think of the fit, because for me, I could have easily gone up to a US size 11 and that would have just been a better overall experience, but I did stick with a US size 10.5, and I did have some really crazy pinch points that did break in, but it did take some time. But overall, I think this is a very fun basketball shoe coming in at 120 USD, so I do think it's a very good option if you want a lightweight packaged shoe with really nice traction. The cushioning was awesome with that 75% Boom, the rest being Cloud Plus, a very thin and breathable upper, and just a very supportive basketball shoe as well. So Keep these in mind if you are looking for a very minimal basketball shoe. As always, if you guys could like, comment, and subscribe, that definitely helps the channel a ton. As always, thanks for watching today's video, and until next time, peace.